By turning the mouse wheel up and down, you can resize it. By changing the roughness here, you can make it smoother or rougher. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we will learn how to add rivers, lakes, and brush some waters, also the coastline effects. But before we do that, let's cover some of the things that we forgot to mention. So this one is an eraser for the colors. So when you go and press G or come here to the land part and click on this brush, you remember that we have this palette. The first one here is not a color, it's an eraser, and you can also adjust the eraser here on this filter part. So for example, if I click on ground only, it will only remove the color on the ground. If all of them is clicked, it will remove the color on all the assets and ground. If you select some symbols here with this tool and hold shift and press the mountain, they will be copied. This is how you can also copy symbols in Wonderdraft. So I'm going to now place these guys here, and now you will have an exact copy of this land here. Now I want to also erase all the colors here because I want to have a dedicated episode for coloring step by step, because if I color them now during the process, we may end up with so many jumps and it may be a bit confusing. So let's get back to the waters. In order to add waters, we go to this first top section called waters, and it will give us all these options. This one will change the appearance of the water on our map, as you can see. The hue, the saturation, etc. of the seas and the water, you can adjust them here. If you go to the second option here, this will allow us to make rivers. These adjustment bars will help you to make different kind of rivers. So for example, if I increase the first one, the width of my river will change. Let's demonstrate. Here is a river, and here is another river with increased width. Roughness will change, just like the coastlines, how rough that river is. The less it is, the more smooth it will be. So it's basically the distance between the curves of that river. If you increase it, you will have more wide curves, and if you decrease it all the way down, it will go until it is completely flat. So let's undo, Control Z. So now I removed all the waters. So this is how you make rivers. And one final thing, this river source fade in. This is basically allowing you to make the river look like it starts from some point or it already started. This is the difference that it makes. I'm going to delete those again, reduce it. So now I'm going to add a few rivers here and there. They will be the rivers we will use in this map. And while you are making the river, you are clicking the left mouse button every time you go somewhere, and by clicking the right mouse button, it will finish. But if you also turn the wheel, you can also make it thicker. You can just go back, reduce it, and follow it. Voila, here we go. Thicker here. Then let's, for example, add another river maybe coming from here. Another warning, while working with the river, keep saving it, because if you press faster than Wonderdraft, because if you press so fast, it may crash. Like, take your time a little with the rivers. This faded look, one more time. This is another tip for you guys. Let's move to the next option, which is lakes. The blue part that you see on the map is the river that we will add. By turning the mouse wheel up and down, you can resize it. By changing the roughness here, you can make it smoother or rougher. And by changing the detail here, you can change the detail amount. I'm going to max it now. So as you can see, it has more edges and here and there a little bit of more adjustments. Let's add another lake here. And how do I change this shape? If you press and hold shift and then turn the mouse wheel, Wonderdraft will give you more random shapes. But it is going to be a limited amount, like 5 or 10. And if you didn't like any of them, you can just press any, undo it, and then it will give you new shapes. Let's keep this one, it looks very interesting. Or maybe this one. So this is how we add lakes. If you move to the next option, now this is the brush. This is where we can manually add waters. Again, we have a brush size and roughness. The less the roughness is, the smoother the water that we will make. So I'm going to now decrease the brush size, keep the roughness, adjust this lake a little bit here and there. If I want, I can also manually add with this tool a lake. For example, let's add one here. Maybe increase the roughness a bit. As you can see, I manually added a lake, but I didn't like it. Let's erase it. So the next part is the eraser. It will erase only the fresh waters. It will not have any effect on the symbols or assets. Now I'm pressing, but as you can see, it's not changing anything. But if I come here and start pressing, it will automatically erase the waters. And the next option is to color the water. But before I color the water, I want to jump back to this land and show you the coastline effects and some coloring options, because here we actually have an option called freshwater color on the right panel that automatically colors all the fresh waters to the color that we choose, just like this. The way this works is actually not coloring the water itself, it's creating a layer on top of the water. And how do I know that? Because the texture is gone. Normally we have a texture here, but that has disappeared. It is because that tool works as a cover, so it doesn't actually color it. It covers it with a color. If you want to use this, you can also tweak the opacity here, but you can also manually color the water. But for that, you need to reduce this all the way down. Let's demonstrate. This is all the way up. I'm gonna choose a color here, and I'm just pressing it, but it's not making any changes because this again works like a cover. If I go back and reduce this, now you will see that it is colored, and we also have the texture. If we press fill, it will fill all the waters on the map, including the oceans. We can also make changes. We can add shades by picking different colors. And the first one again erases all the colors, all gone. So now let's manually color these fresh waters, because then I'm going to show you another coastline effect. Let's color this part. Now, as you can see, I also colored the seas, but the coastlines are not colored. It is because we also have a coastline effect here called coastline color. If we go here by using this, let's say we pick the color, now it will also color all the coastlines for us. And if we adjust this like a bit lighter color, it will have this coastline effect. And the patterns here we can also change. This one is the dash pattern, but I can go with irregular, uniform blend, three-tiered, hatch pattern, etc. And we can also adjust this further. How do we do that? You see this coastal FX distance. If you increase or decrease this, it will change how that effect is reflected to the land. If we increase it, our lands are going to be clearer on the coastlines. This vignette strength, let me zoom out. It will add some vintage effect on the corners of our maps. Keep it generally somewhere here. That's my preference. And another thing, if you press these eyes on the left part, you can completely hide whatever is there. I can even hide all the water, all the land, all the symbols, paths, etc. This landmass outline color, we use this to change the color of the landmass outline. I generally keep it somewhere here or here. And the freshwater outline color, which weakly works in Wonderdraft in my opinion, to color what is around the freshwater. So if we actually keep it the same, it's just gonna make the reverse thicker. If you want to go for that, you can also do that, and you will not have an outline there. Did we miss anything? The color grading, I don't really work with this much, to be honest. I think Photoshop is much better to play with the gradings, and it's actually not beginner friendly at all, so I'm gonna keep it for later or completely avoid it. And let's also talk about the textures. Here on the land part, we have water texture. Let's say I got the vintage and now the water texture changed. I got, for example, feudal and the water texture changed. Play with those, see which one you like the most. And the same thing applies for ground. We have different textures for grounds and waters. I generally go with paper, or this is something that I added myself. Worn is also nice, not on the land, but especially on the water. This option is very nice. If you just pick it up and here on the water on top, change the settings of it a little bit, and you may end up with really nice looking waters. Depending on the color palette of your map and your preference, you can change these. Now that we covered these also, let's get back to paper and coloring waters. We learned how to adjust water settings, how to add rivers, how to add lakes, how to brush waters, how to erase, and how to color. On the next episode, I will quickly also show you. So one final thing, let's also learn about the Windrose tool. This is a tool that allows you to add windroses to the seas. Here on the right part, you can adjust the windrose, like the amount of directions, the thickness of the lines, the inner radius, which will add a circle inside. You can also add circles to that center. The outer radius will change how far the windrose goes, as you can see, smaller. You can also have two circles inside, and the fade out option fades the edges of the windrose. So let's, for now, add something like this to our map. And here we are now seeing that this is also shown in the freshwater because we actually reduced all the color. So this is a downside of it. If you want textures there, these windroses may be seen. And if you don't want textures there, you can avoid the windrose like this. Now, as you can see, I changed it. I'm changing the inner radius. Also, I can change the color of the lines. Gray, for example. Let's keep it like this. I like it. And let's also add a little bit of shade to our waters. Just like the blend brushes, we have 3 brushes here. The solid one, the faded one, and the foggy one. I can also reduce the size, opacity, and velocity. I'm able to change color, blend it. Alright, that's it for this video. We covered the water, all of the options. Let me know if I skipped any of the tools or if I forgot to mention anything. On the next episode, we will cover symbols. We are gonna spray, place, move, and color. Oh, yes, it's here. Trees. Alright, I will be seeing you on the next video, guys. Make sure to like and support and give me feedback so I can... Bye, guys.